Uh-huh. Yahweh Elohim of the United States of Elohim, Elohim. I am God, Yahweh. It is now 8:30 this morning, September 8th, 2024. I'm still in Adamsville, Alabama, Jefferson County, here on Venus, the planet of love, Elohim, Creator God, Yahweh, I am. This message is once again dealing with the Dred Scott case for these United States, which lasts for 1 millennium. My trustee Isaiah Karai Smith, my Chief Justice Isaac Correiro Smith, from the Color Plantation of Dred Scott, which is Adamsville, Alabama, the forsaken territory of the United States. God, Yahweh, Elohim, I am. We're continuing with David Rockafellow program of the bank accounts, and it also has something to do with the Department of Education there, with the banking system and the grant of discovery, which is about this video and audio recorder. Also, the Smithsonian Institution, video audio recorders, Museum of Artifacts, my manuals from A Course in Miracles, and textbooks there, like you Bookie Rancher, a few math books that I left, different things. Today is about Langston Hughes and the 2020 hindsight reports that Langston Hughes had began. That Langston Hughes had to buy a system with me, God, Yahweh, Elohim of these United States, which is not the public school system of David Rockefeller, and it's not the banking system which started with Frederick Douglass' banking structure, associated with David Rockefeller, which was an investor with me, the United States of America, with me, God, Yahweh, Elohim. 2020 hindsight was 1920, which were Woodrow Wilson and that administration, if you like to call it that, discovered the obituaries, the first obituaries from World War I. It started in 1917, and by 1920, Langston Hughes was discovered in a currency or population of publications there. Langston Hughes had its own library. It was me, God, Yahweh, Elohim. And 1919 was considered to be an even year. 19 divided by 19, definitely there's one that exists with me, God, Yahweh, Elohim. That one was Langston Hughes, and he was looking for 2020 hindsight is what it named it, essentially. And that was where the World Wide Web Internet Computer with Woodrow Wilson, www.com, from Woodrow Wilson with Langston Hughes with me, God, Yahweh, Elohim of the United States. We were going to do world history, and we were going to do the United States of Elohim, Elohim, I am God, Yahweh, where the word Elohim had not been included with the English dictionary in 1920, where the Harlem Renaissance of Langston Hughes was documented in 1921 very well. So by 2021, it had Frederick Douglass had funded if there was going to be another world war in 2017 or 1917. So my video and audio recorders was placed at my home in Adamsville in 2021. And it wasn't a Harlem Renaissance, it's just a bunch of cars that drove by and disappeared from nowhere. So, history is left inside the World Wide Web Internet Computer, like Wikipedia with Hemmer Ford Motors Company, part of Excel there, and eventually Microsoft with IBM and Google and things of that nature, joining our websites there with me, God, Yahweh, Elohim. We included the Bible, if you wanted to, with the Department of Education with Calvin Trice Benson Murphy, who did the legislation. His word is protege. The genius, David Rockefeller, myself, for the bank system for the USA female nation there. And 2020 hindsight is now inside of the World Wide Web Internet Computer. This is Venus, the planet of love, Elohim. That was planet Plymouth, love, Elohim. Rockefeller and those guys there, fellows, the citizens there, the Dred Scott case of these United States. And the world history, your world history from 1920 to 2020 is very odd. Your world changed ethnicity and nationality in 1938 or 1940. New races there. Then your world history could not remember by 1950. I know when I was JFK, Fitzgerald Kennedy, January 20 of 1961, my inaugural address about we did the judicial system. That was finished, called Dred Scott case, 1846, Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall. We did the legislative system, or the legislative bodies from the Declaration of Independence. Rockefeller finished that in 1938, called the banking system. And I started my executive extensions, really, with my business titles, that you are not God, Yahweh, Elohim, in my presence at all. So we're going to start the United States of Elohim, Elohim. I am God, Yahweh. All right. In the English language, where people with the Declaration of Independence was trying to be part of the English language, I'm the Elohim of the English language, me, God, Yahweh. We have communication with that word. Oh, yeah, that's the word that creates communication. So we have telecommunications now. I know it creates it. In this universe, I know it creates communication. The Elohim. So, 2020 hindsight. From 1920, I was Langston Hughes. It was Calvin Trice Davies, Calvin Trice Johnson, Calvin Trice Jackson, Calvin Trice Benson, and Calvin Trice Murphy. With Langston Hughes and myself, I was David Rockafellow there in 1938. I became Herbert Hoover after I was Dwight Eisenhower in 1953. I was Lord Lewis in 1951, United States of France, Lord Lewis. And Dwight Eisenhower Elohim, born in 1953 of the USA female system, the first male. All the rest of the males of Elohim, Elohim with me, God Yahweh Elohim, United States. It's under that name right there. I was Herbert Hoover Elohim #2, the first administrator though for the USA. 1955, 1961, I was JFK Fitzgerald Kennedy, first the #1 Chief Justice of the USA with God Yahweh Elohim. In 1961 to 1964, we closed it. Nobody knew Elohim Elohim except me, God Yahweh Elohim. So it's a female nation. We had it already with the banking system. We called it USA, from Frederick Douglass, the baking system about edibles, baking goods, baking food, baking cakes and cookies and shit like that, cupcakes. But this intellectual property is with Dred Scott case. So your world's history from 1920 now is 2020. It's called a Lysic Festival. You had about 30 or 40 years about Isaac Corbett Aerosmith. And me, God Yahweh Elohim of the U.S. And the obituaries from 1917, collected by Henry Ford Motors Company, we told them it was 1 century off. It started in 2017. David Rockefeller started. It was never born with you. No. They're on planet. This is planet Venus here. Never with you. No. It's called the USA. David Rockefeller's not from the USA. They sent one from one Rockefeller Plaza, Isaac Corbett Aerosmith. Had to use his fourth name. What's his fourth name? Left with Dred Scott case that Elohim destruction was. If AIDS and HIV happened, then Elohim destruction was happening. So Dred Scott is the name from destruction, the word destruction of your Elohim. For masculine mortal mammals, faggots, spirit ghosts, men that were sodomizing each other, that the word AIDS is from sodomization there. And if that had happened, that was prophesied already through Elohim simulation, that simultaneously only God Yahweh would not know, because Elohim never practiced sodomization with me, God Yahweh. And definitely not Elohim never practiced that with me, God Yahweh. So it was doing something simultaneous called Elohim simulation. Now it's being revealed in 2020 hindsight. So your world does have a history of 20 divided by 20. There is one male, Isaac Corbett Aerosmith, that's been with God Yahweh Elohim from the Dred Scott case was 1857 in the U.S. That we're the ancestor of the U.S. still. Yeah, and it's, so so your World Wide Web Internet computer, that's what 2020 hindsight is, that JFK, Fitzgerald Kennedy, left you plain and simple. If God Yahweh created Venus, planet Venus, then I would just be doing life as a zillionaire, and Rockefeller is where I'm free from those bank accounts with my name Rockefeller. So we're just doing life here. It's September 8th. 2024, Venus, the planet of love, Elohim. It's about 8:30 this morning. I'm in Adamsville, Alabama, Jefferson County, which is the Dred Scott Color Plantation, or the Forsaken Territory of the United States, God Yahweh Elohim. Since the turn of the 20th century, which is called 1901. It's 123 years in the past now. But, so your World Wide Web Internet computer, which is about history, yeah. My history is the English language, me, God Yahweh, of your Elohim. Where is your Elohim from 1920 to 2020? Well, Isaac Corbett Aerosmith has been there already. Where is your Elohim from 1920 to 2020? All right, so EROS is left with Jefferson County, that his name is EROC, Eros, for the male race. Thank you. So county is left in your intellectual property, as well as country, that's his word, Isaac Corbett Aerosmith. Country and county is left in your intellectual property, created by me, God Yahweh. Whenever you find your Elohim, I'm already Elohim Elohim, and I'm also Love Elohim, and I'm definitely Yahweh Elohim, and I'm already God Yahweh and God Elohim of that first Bible, of that dead earth. We exist. So, thank you. We hope that the internet can help. So I'm trying as fast as I can with this Verizon cell phone. Can you hear me now? Commercial from 2004. When I was in Los Angeles, a lot of water went there after May 19, 2017. Thanks. So I hope you can hear me now. I'm trying to upload these messages there with my public school system, with my Grant of Discovery there with David Rockafellow. We started colleges with myself, Booker T. Washington, and universities eventually. I am the universe, love Elohim, creator God, Yahweh Elohim. I am of this planet today, Venus, the planet of love Elohim, at this moment presently. Thank you. All right, Henry Ford Motors Company. Oh, yeah, sure. Creating communities for the females, right? Yeah, sure. Are they going to be called angels?